All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this another amazing episode of the Reality Kenya, where we look at what's happening in the ground and as far as the livelihood and the economic status of our country is. And of course, joining us every week is the one and only Deputy Party Leader of Safina Party, that is Honorable Wakili Willis Otieno, Piki Ponki.
Yes.
And of course, we are live from the Learned Corner, as usual. And of course, we are here to break it down and look at what's happening and how things are rolling right now. It's always an easy moment, so from wherever you are watching, share with your friends. We thank you so much for the growth. It's barely 1 month and some weeks, and we are doing good, and we thank you so much for your cooperation. Keep sharing with your friends, share with everyone, because this is the Reality Kenyan. Wakili.
Yes.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
Happy New Week.
Happy New Week.
How is everything?
Thank you, because everything is okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. We thank God that He is with us.
You're
The
looking
rains are
fresh.
here.
And,
Thank you.
Yeah. So we thank God that we are here once again.
Yes.
And a lot of things are happening.
That's good.
How can you describe the weekend and the new week, how it started?
It's an interesting week for the country.
Yes.
We are seeing on the political front, there seems to be some behind-the-scene conversations to get the bipartisan conversation going.
Yeah.
I hope the players will approach it with the utmost good faith, with the intention to better the lives and the governance of the people of Kenya.
Yeah.
Sad events that also happened. We witnessed some very grisly accidents on our roads, and that was quite unfortunate.
Yeah.
We just pray and hope that our drivers and road safety becomes a key issue for those who are driving on our roads. Human life is sacred, and we need to protect it.
True.
There are also developments in the region. You've seen Sudan.
Yeah.
Sudan is flaring up.
True.
A fight between the RSF and the mainstream Sudan army for control. I know, interestingly, Emeti and Burhan, they are the equivalent of a president and a deputy president.
Oh.
Yes, they are part of what you call the military governing council of Sudan that has taken over the leadership of the country after the removal of al-Bashir. And the events in Sudan is going to be probably a spectra of international conflict, because there are different players. Russia's participation will be watched keenly, the United States, China, so the United Arab Emirates. It's a melting pot. But our main prayer and hope is that whatever challenges they're having in Sudan, the country should be able to find an amicable way of addressing. That is why it's important that people should always dialogue genuinely.
True.
You not wish a country to resort to use of violence to address their issues. In the case of Sudan, the differences between the two leaders has led to devastating effects. More than 200 people have died.
Have died, actually.
And if you notice, each of them have an army of almost equal strength. Emeti's army is almost 150,000. The main army is 180,000 strong. So they're almost equal, and they both have arms. So whatever the difference they have, they need to have a way in which they can resolve the differences, and that to me reflects even to us in Kenya. We are just lucky that we don't have civilians bearing arms, but it underscores the need for people to genuinely sit down and discuss issues affecting our people in an amicable way. We don't have to be fighting all the time, and the higher calling is on those who are occupying positions of leadership. Another notable event in the last week, I think yesterday, was the goat
Yes.
In Boston.
The goat became the sixth.
They became the sixth. They got the sixth. But that is life. That was the first time the goat was running on that terrain.
Oh.
He had never done the Boston Marathon before. So obviously, I'm sure, even for him, conquering a marathon, you must learn the terrain and know how to pace yourself. But that does not take away from the greatness of Kipchoge. We celebrate him as a people. There's ultimate, for me, concern from the recent happenings is still back to the economy. And I noticed there was a catch. The president mentioned that there's a catch of maize coming in, and maize will be selling at 150 shillings by this week. You see, unfortunately, when you talk about cost of living, unga is just one component. You can import all the maize you want, but if you don't deal with the cost of production, you don't deal with the cost of electricity, the cost of fuel, the labor that is involved, the price will still be up. And even if you're talking about ugali alone, you see, ugali is eaten with what is called a delish. We understand that ugali is just meant to fill the stomach. But there's a delish that must accompany it, whether it is sukuma wiki, whether it is eggs, whether it is meat.
There must be an accompaniment.
There's an accompaniment. No one takes ugali with tea morning to evening. So, and as I say, these people are not having a comprehensive approach or response to the issues that Kenyans are raising about the cost of living. The cost of living is not just about food in the stomach. It's about the quality of life that the Kenyan person is living. So I do hope that this is not just a PR exercise, because if you don't have a comprehensive plan, maybe you'll bring the unga today, but next month you are back to the same challenges. So that was one thing that I noticed that for me is of concern. Maybe there's an attempt now to start talking about this. Remember the last time we said that Mwananchi issues should be the key focus of any political conversation. So that's a good step in the right direction. But we'll ask for more. We'll take whatever is available, but then ask for more. We must address those issues. And also of interest, if you notice, was that Azimio has gone back to the people.
That is also something.
And they had a very momentous meeting in Kamukunji over the weekend, Sunday, and people came out in their large numbers to hear what they had to say. And again, you witness that they were very adamant on the core issues that they want to be addressed, and that they will want the conversation to take place outside Parliament. And Maandamano will go head to head with mazungumzo. So mazungumzo na maandamano yataambatana moja kwa moja. And that is all within the rights of the players. So that we have a genuine, we don't lose focus. Because my fear normally is if you turn this thing to be purely a political conversation where people are in a boardroom, it is so easy for the people issues to be lost, put aside, and then they deal with their issues. So in my view, it is good that Azimio must still maintain the public pressure and the public conversation on the issues. Another interesting thing that happened, if you noticed, was the statement by Baba.
During Kamkunji?
Yes, when he said that Jose Kamago is in the country.
Is in the country.
And they're trying to clean the servers. You know, it's very interesting, this issue of the servers. Having litigated that issue in the Supreme Court, I can tell you.
By the way, you were part of the...
I was part of the lawyers.
The lawyers who were there.
I can tell you that Smartmatic did write a letter to the court. And they specifically said, we shall not allow access to our servers. We will not open these servers because if we do so, it will compromise on our copyright. That letter is there, written after the Supreme Court gave an order of access to the servers. Smartmatic said we will not allow you. Correct? If you look at the report of the Deputy Registrar, specifically also stated some of the information that was requested that will allow access to the servers, Iebc refused to accede. Now that, and tied to the decision of that court, the court proceeded to say that, okay, we may be, whatever we are given is enough. But that is not what the petitioners were asking. They didn't get enough to answer the question. And now what Baba is saying that they are trying to clean the server. And you see the constant resistance from the other side for the servers to be open. You know, of import is that if Baba is wrong and you wanted to prove him wrong, the best way to prove him wrong is to allow him and any other Kenyan access to those servers and to see what is in there. And you tell him now you can forever shut up. Let's focus on other things. But when you see people trying to constantly deny, refuse that which is transparent, it's like saying if I said I have 100 million shillings in my M-Pesa account, and I'm insisting I have 100 million in my M-Pesa account, Safaricom is holding my money, can they give me my money? What better way to disprove my claim than Safaricom to bring the statement?
Yeah.
M-Pesa statement and put it on the table. Here is the M-Pesa statement from when you registered this line to M-Pesa. Up to date, you only have 20 shillings.
Other than keeping to say we don't have the statement.
Just say we don't have your statement. You don't have 100 million. No. Just bring the statement and prove it. So even the servers, the transaction logs, bring it. Put it on the table for any Kenyan, not just Baba. Any Kenyan. Because accountability is a key component of our principles of governance. And Article 10 and Article 81 of the Constitution, setting out the principles of governance and the principles of the electoral system, inculcates accountability as one of the key principles that state organs have to ascribe to. So when any Kenyan demands that allow us access to the servers, or open those servers, it's just in pursuit of accountability provisions of our Constitution. We've also witnessed something that happened in Central. There was a video of Maina Njenga dancing and singing Mau Mau songs. And I want to tie that to the emergence of the former Murang'a governor, Wairia, calling out Gachagua for not being the real son of Mau Mau. So it's been an eventful last 1 week.
It has been a lot.
So many things are happening. And of course this will shape our politics into the future. And Wairia has come out forcefully to the Baba side. And you'll expect the other side to also equally respond to these issues. A sad event that I must point out was yesterday, when at the airport, that for the whole day, there was no takeoff or landing from our national international airport.
The biggest in East Africa.
Just because plane had a rejected takeoff because of burst tires. I mean, how will this country ever grow if you are still playing Mickey Mouse? That one tire burst of a plane on the runway, number one, to clear it takes you a whole day. To clear that plane off the runway takes you a whole day. Number two, that you only have one runway
for such takeoff.
One runway.
Imagine.
JKIA, you should go to international airport, like if you go to Charles de Gaulle in Paris, you will see like 5 runways, 5 Boeings taking off at the same time. That is when you can attract commerce, people, movement of people, turning your country into a hub. We can become a regional hub only if you have the capacities to accommodate the flight that will be coming. So JKIA as it is, that was built in the 1970s. We can't be living in the year 2023 with the tools of 1970. We must now modernize our tools and start living with the tools of 2023, not even 2023. We should be building the tools of 2080 and start using them now. So that by the time we get to 2080, we should be focusing on the 2110 tools as the tools of living. But we are now, as a country, failing our forefathers and our future, our children and their grandchildren. Because whereas those who came before us built the tools that we are using today in the 1970s, what have we done to improve on them?
For the future.
So it simply means we are eating what they left behind and we are not building anything for the next generation. JKI was, to me, that yesterday was a shame. And this affected not just flights in Kenya. People who are in South Africa could not take off. People who are in Europe who wanted to come, they could not take off. So flights coming, they were told, we cannot allow you to take off because we don't know where you will land.
Some were even diverted to Kampala.
Some went to Mombasa, some went to Dar es Salaam.
And you can imagine
Abole International Airport. But those are those who are already on air. But those who are not on air
could not take off.
They will not get any takeoff before the airport is clear for landing. So people are waiting the whole day, and that is going to affect scheduling of flights for even 2 weeks.
You can imagine.
Just to reorganize all those flights which have to be cancelled or rescheduled. It affects the subsequent. Yes, it affects the next flights. So many people will be affected. So the inconvenience to commerce and to trade. And we're talking about an economy that is limping. That to me is very precarious. And that is why I always say that we need to have a genuine conversation about this economy. A genuine conversation that looks into the kind of infrastructure that will support economic development. What do we focus on? If I look at this present administration, what is their focus? Dams. They talk about dams. Dams. But what is the economic value of those dams? Or are you just spending 100 billion shillings to give somebody drinking water? To give 2,000 people drinking water? Is that even value for money?
No.
Whereas you can invest that kind of money in putting up a modern airport that can accommodate more freight, bigger planes, and is able to quickly process and clear a large volume of traffic. That will earn you money, because every plane that lands into Kenya lands on that airport. The country earns foreign revenue. Every time a plane lands there, be it cargo, be it passenger. On your air ticket, you'll find there is an airport fee that is charged. So you earn money, so it is in your interest to build an airport that accommodates more people, more traffic, more flights. And once you have all these people coming in, even the kind of business that you can do within the airport facility itself. Go to modern airports, go to Dubai airport. It's like a city in its own right. Just because of people who are passing through that airport. As we are still playing Mickey Mouse games here, we are not ready for the next world order. And the sooner we realize it, the better, and have a genuine conversation that will change the trajectory about our economic governance. So far, we are not ready. We are not even. Rwanda is building the airport. Bole International Airport in Ethiopia has they opened the first terminal, the new one. But in terms of geographical locationing, we are better placed than both two places. In terms of our economy, we are much better than both two places. We just need to rise up. We should not sleep. Because even Dar es Salaam, they're building a new airport. So we need to make sure that we remain the pearl, we remain the key, the market leader in an area.
And the pride of Africa.
The pride of Africa. If we allow those other regional airports to catch up with us and to beat us in terms of the infrastructure they have, the kind of facility they have, then we may never recover our pride of place. And what will be the motivation for airlines to come and land in JK if they can get better facilities and quick processing in Rwanda or Dar es Salaam? So we need to be ahead of the game. Those are some of the things that in Safina we believe will be the kind of things that we'll be doing. We want a government that will be leading and providing facilities and services to the people of today, while caring and building, laying a foundation for our children. That our children's future should be secured. Otherwise, what's the purpose of living if you are just messing up everything today?
Don't you think that if you look at it from the planning aspect, do you think it is misprioritizing our ideologies and taking them to things that are actually not generalizing the need of our economy?
Of course, it is a question of planning and prioritizing. Maybe and what informs decision making. Some of these decisions that you see some people make and the projects or programs they're running on, of course they may be informed by their selfish interest. And you find that someone else sees it worthwhile to invest in building 1,000 dams that have zero economic returns, as opposed to investing in another facility that the return on investment to the country, I'm talking about to the country, the return of investment to the country is enormous. It will open up opportunities, expand your foreign revenue base, attract more capital into the country, as opposed to, and this money that you're going to earn from this particular one is what you will use to provide other social services, which you are trying to provide using a dam. So why spend money to provide a social service when you can use that money to do an economic activity that the returns, the profits you make out of this will in the end support that same social service that you wanted. So, but you find some people may be driven by the little bucks, the handouts or the kickbacks that they will get out of these tiny projects. They're not looking at national interest. At leadership level, we need to look at national interest. What is in the interest of the nation? What is going to benefit a majority of Kenyans at the least cost, but earning the country, not the individual, earning the country maximum returns, so that as a country we are saying we've spent this much on this, and we've earned this much. Thika Road, for example, was a Kibaki project.
Yeah.
And if you look at the statistics, why Thika Road? That was a road that had the highest traffic, right, into the city, right? And you needed to open it up. It was like clogging the city, because the traffic on Thika Road spills over and affects all other roads getting into the city. So you need to unclog that road and allow for traffic. And Kibaki, in his planning, had seen that to build this road will cost me 30 billion shillings.
Yeah.
But what will be the return on investment? So the road, for example, when it started on it, it was number one, using largely local materials, using local labor. So at the point of construction, I am going to stimulate the economy, local economy, because we are going to buy the cement industries, the ballast industries, the sand industry, the local laborers are going to earn money from this project, right? So you are seeing you are boosting all these people in there.
So there's going to be money somewhere.
Money somewhere. The cement factory will have to employ extra workers. The ones who are working in the quarries will have to employ extra workers to supply the ballast, to provide the sand. Those who are doing the steel industry, the transporters. You see, many people in the value chain are going to benefit from this money. And also local laborers. And all these people, when they are working, as they are earning this money, they're going to spend in that local economy. So somebody will have to buy bread, somebody maybe have to buy cigarettes, somebody wants to... You have money that... Madondo, those hard ones. Some of them call them Matiangi. In some village they call them Matiangi. Or KDF. So that money is going to be spent in the local economy, the money circulating in that economy. That is what you are calling stimulus during construction. And also remember, when this money is being spent in that economy, government also is earning in pay as you earn. Government is earning in VAT, in corporation tax, that those who are manufacturing the goods being consumed are spending. So during construction, as you are spending, as government is paying for the service, government is also earning money at the same time. That is stimulus during construction. Then we have what you call stimulus post-construction. The road will be able to sustain itself and pay for itself post-construction. So as you are building, the road is paying you money as a government, because you are collecting tax in the forms I've mentioned. Then post-construction.
Now the road is done.
Now the road is done. By the time when they were breaking ground on Thika Road, an acre of land on Thika Road was going for around 500,000 Kenyan shillings. 3 years after they finished construction, an acre of land was going for around 15 million.
You can imagine.
Today, an acre of land on Thika Road is going for no less than 80 million. So just imagine how much government is earning in terms of stamp duty, just because of opening up that road. How much is that government earning in terms of stamp duty? I can tell you, Thika Road, if you go to our treasury book, that's paid for itself. Whatever we are earning now is surplus. That's an income.
In less than 10 years.
Less than, yes, after. It's around maybe 15 years.
15 years later,
by 13 years or so. It has paid for itself. It is now earning us revenue. That you should be thinking, if we had run on that model, we should have now moved to how do we turn it on Mombasa Road? How do we take it from Nairobi towards Kisumu or Malaba? You understand? So that you are able to build an economic corridor that everybody can benefit. If we built a similar road like Thika Road on your way to Kisumu,
you can imagine.
Naivasha becomes only 25 minutes drive from Nairobi. Why would I live in Nairobi? I can go and live in Naivasha and work in Nairobi, because 25 minutes away I'm in Nairobi. I can be going back in the evening and you bring the fresh air of the Mount Longonot as you overlook Lake Naivasha. Right? So the value of land in that area will also go up, because people will be, and I'll build, when I'm building my home in that area, you'll find I'll use local labor. I'll buy local materials. That is how you build an economy. That is a conversation that I can tell you. These people don't seem to understand. They don't know it.
Actually, even me, I was not thinking like
that. They don't know it. The people don't know it. People just think being in government is about making money for yourself. Being in government is about facilitating and providing an opportunity for people to self-actualize. Not by stealing government money, but providing platforms that they can be able to economically participate. Government programs should be about empowering the people, giving them an opportunity to self-actualize in private enterprise. That is what us we stand for. That's the big difference between us and these others.
You know, last week, you broke it down on the sugar industry. That was just an example. And today you are also giving us another eye-opener about all these things. Can we say that these are just, but like a tip of the iceberg?
These are tidbits. Safina, we are the only team that knows how to even turn this economy.
Yeah.
I can tell you, and I'm not bragging.
Yes.
With all humility, with all honesty, it's about the sincerity in the heart of an individual.
Yeah.
For somebody to anchor their politics on distribution, it means they've not understood what the economic challenges we're facing.
Yeah.
So the ideology informing their governance is misplaced with the demands and the needs of the people. In our politics, our ideology is anchored on production, providing opportunities, as I told you last time, and removing barriers. Government playing a role of facilitating, not the role of being the player. Right?
Yeah.
That is the difference between us and them. And I'm telling you, if I was to sit here and just talk to you about what our economic promises are to the people of Kenya,
yes,
we'll be talking for the next 2 months every day, and it's endless.
It will never end.
It will never end.
No,
and I'll be progressively just throwing tidbits.
Yeah.
But we have a very comprehensive manifesto that addresses these economic issues.
But you see, someone might look at all this production and think that it really needs a lot to implement. Don't you think that it requires a huge particular of resources to make it work?
No, that's interesting.
Someone might look at it and say, like you see, the other time we were talking about the sugar production, and today you're just giving us an example of just Thika Road of how it has, changed the economy within that time. And someone would think that it really requires a lot of resources that the country may not have at this time.
No, it's not about it requires a lot of resources. It just means rearranging your priorities.
Yes.
That's the big difference. So that if, for example, I was to use the sitting administration,
yes,
I will not spend money on building dams. Because what's the return on investment on those dams?
Building 100 dams.
Yes. What's the return on investment?
No.
You're spending so much money, and the dams, the kind of dams you're building, are dams that are meant to provide water for drinking, not even to produce hydroelectricity, energy. So what are you talking about? You don't spend 100 billion to take a liter of water to somebody's home, or even 10,000 liters. No.
Yeah.
You, as a country, you're better off coming up with a program that person can be empowered within that program.
So that they can get their own
They
water.
can even get their own water to their home. Okay? But you are spending so much money on what I call a vanity project that will not have any impact. So that, look, even for example, this Nairobi Expressway.
Yeah.
If you asked me, that's a Napa Deck road that serves only an elite group.
Yeah.
It has caused so much traffic at the bottom.
True.
When it is rush hour, at the bottom part of the expressway, it is gridlocked. In fact, they ended up messing up the road of the commoners to build the upper deck road. Our approach will have been very simple. Just create ring roads. So the money you are spending on building that road, create a ring road, several ring roads, so that I don't have to come to the center of the city if I have no business being in the center of the city.
Yeah.
For example, one of the ring roads we have, you can look at the southern bypass. If I'm coming from Machakos side and I want to go to Nakuru, I have no business passing through CBD.
Yeah.
So I'll simply join the southern bypass, proceed all the way and go in Wayaki way, and proceed to Nakuru.
Yeah.
Now you create several of such ring roads around the city so that you're limiting the number of people who are getting into the center. And people have so many opportunities, avenues, that they can access one side of the city without approaching it to the center. As it is now, our city is designed in a way that everything leads towards the center. That is why you end up having so much gridlocks and traffic. Because everything is focused on the center. Open up the roads by creating several ring roads. In Muthaiga, and I want to go to South Sea. I don't need to come through CBD to get to South Sea. I should be able to have an alternate ring road that will take me to South Sea without coming through the CBD. So I will invest, our government would invest in ringing the city, so around the city. That's how modern metropolises have managed to fight traffic. These are things that have been done.
Wow.
Go to Beijing, and that's how they've dealt with their traffic challenges. Shanghai, it is by ringing. Even if you go to Western Europe, most of this, you find they are ringing the city. So there are so many alternative roads that you can use to access this one end of the city from the other end.
Without definitely
going to the CBD. And if I can tell you just the southern bypass alone, what it has done in terms of reducing even traffic on Mombasa, it will have been worse by now, far much worse by now. It is still bad, it needs to be attended to. That bypass alone has removed, start with, all those trucks that used to pass through the city to go to Western Kenya. Now they use the southern bypass. So if we are, that's the kind of thinking. You see the Kibaki kind of thinking? That's the kind of thinking that I'm talking about. A thinking that uses infrastructure or comes up with economic plans using infrastructure to solve the challenges we are facing today, but in the process providing economic opportunities to the people. Okay? That is what it did to that. It opened up an avenue, it opened up new markets, townships along that southern bypass. That is what we'll be talking about. That is what we'll provide to the people. But these other guys, then they believe
in distribution.
Dams. Mara, now we are talking about stadiums.
We want to, affordable housing.
If you build stadium and you don't have, you build stadiums and you don't have sports talent, you not nurture talent. What's the stadium for? The focus should be on the software. Then you go to the hardware. Okay? Let me give you an example here now. One final example. Kibra land. Do you know how much is the value of land in Kibra? Kibra is very close to the CBD. Kibra probably is valued at over 1 trillion Kenya shillings.
The entire
Kibra. Not less than 1 trillion, my estimate. Because it's around 600 acres of land. 1 acre of land in the CBD is around 1 billion. So it can equally be more than 1 trillion.
1 trillion.
Minimum 600 billion. If you are to come up with a program involving private sector, that we are going to do an upgrading system of the housing units in Kibra. So that you say you take 10 acres, for example, as a start. So you take your first 10 acres, divide it into 2. 5 acres, 5 acres. You invite private sector, people with capital, to come and bid. We are giving you a lot, and you bid. You build on the 5 acres, low-cost housing, high-rise, that has running water, toilets,
and
electricity, sporting facilities, amenities, shopping centers, schools, right? In the 5 acres.
And
health facility. In the 5 acres, you build that. If you commit to do that, and the government can even do a design, but it's private sector doing it with their own money. We are giving you 5 acres on this other hand for free to build whatever you want. Kind of housing that you can rent or sell to other people. So you'll end up addressing the housing challenge in Kibra.
Because if that
at no cost to government. They will not spend any money. Because this man is getting 5 acres of land, prime land, at the price of building for us this unit.
Which after finishing and getting this
you go to the next
they will even ask for the other 5 acres and get another
5 acres. So you do it in a phased approach. So progressively you even put people in holding facilities as their 5 acres is being built, and you tell the developer you start with the 5 acres of the residents of the poor Wananchi. You do a census of everybody who lives in that particular location. Once their units are ready, they move back in. Kibra is prime land lying on a low-cost housing. You can build even high-rise buildings that goes even up to 10 floors. That has proper amenities and facilities, and house all those people in proper facilities at no government cost. Your only contribution will be the land that you are providing to the private sector. And they'll do it. There are people with money who can do it.
Because when that is also done, it becomes more prime than...
And even government will earn money. You will not spend any money. But remember, once that facility is done, you are able to bring even those who are operating in that sector into the formal sector. A shopkeeper in Kibra now will be easy. You have access. You are able to, even if you have to charge rates, you can get rates. So you're able to formalize that informal sector and earn money as a government. You don't have to make it expensive, just at their basic level. Even if it is 300 shillings, they're paying in terms of rates of 400. It means you're earning 400, which you are not earning before. You are 400 shillings richer as a government. And look at the numbers.
Wow.
The sheer numbers in Kibra will change it. That is the kind of thinking that we need in this country.
Okay, someone would ask, when is this mind going to start working? Because people are now yearning for this.
I'm telling you, we are cooking. This thing is being cooked very well.
Yes.
We are cooking it and we will market it to the people of Kenya at the right time. And in when the next elections will be called, this is the kind of conversation that we'll be having with these people. And I told you last time, our worst is their best, what they've offered you before. Our best, no other person can achieve. They've shown their best. Their best is our worst. As we have what is called timeless ideas. That's just a matter of changing the room. And you'll see a difference in how things run in this country. And our focus is not just Kenya. Our focus is Africa. We must make the black man great. We must give an opportunity for Africans to trade with themselves. I was watching last week, there's been this talk about countries moving away from the dollar to the BRICS currency. That's a conversation of BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa is the only African country included. So, and I'm seeing some Africans getting excited about that kind of a conversation. Now, you are simply replacing a colonial master with another. If the dollar is a colonial master, you are moving from the same one to another. To the Russian or to the Chinese. If that conversation was about Africa coming up with its own platform to trade with itself,
at the stock exchange,
and come up with its own currency for Africa, you are creating a continental stock exchange. You come up with your continental currency as a continent. Then you will become a major player. So that BRICS will not be sitting down and saying you'll be begging, moving from master A to master B. You will be a master in your own right. You will want to conquer the United States of America. You will want to conquer China. And we can conquer those countries or those continents only if we come as a unit. Sub-Saharan Africa, we are 1.2 billion people. United States of America, there are 300 million people. China, they are around 1.2 billion people. So, if we are fragmented in small little units, there's no way you are going to send Rwanda that has 5 million people to stand up, 21 million to stand up against China. It's not possible. It's impossible. The economies of scale are tilted against Rwanda. But if we join with the Rwandese, we join with the Ugandans, we create a continental-wide common market, then we even have a common currency. We will become a force to reckon, because number one, the intra-Africa trade alone will spur all these economies. Then now, with a stronger economy, with a stronger currency, we are able now to trade with the outside international market. And we can only do that if we are one. Otherwise, Kenya, even if you have 50 million people, that is not even a state. That is one. The GDP of Texas is bigger than the GDP of Kenya.
So, which means the plan actually and the ideology of Safina Party is not just based on the Kenyan.
It expands and extends to the continent, to the black man. It is time for the black man to rise, and we believe that time will come. The dreams of our forefathers, Kwame Nkrumah, Patrice Lumumba, Thomas Sankara, Mwalimu Nyerere, for an Africa that is for Africans, that is proud to be African, not just by words, but by deeds. The pride of an African is not to see a black man wearing a coat of arms and saying, I'm now a commander-in-chief. No. The pride of a black man should be that a black man lives a life of dignity. He is able to feed himself, he has good quality education, he has good quality healthcare system, and is living a life that we see normally white people live in their countries. That is what the African needs to be.
Yeah.
And that is what our resources as a continent can give us. We've just been getting the long and the short end of the stick. We deserve, and it's upon us to do it for ourselves.
And own the entire
we must own it, yes. We must be the ones to do it. We got political independence. We never got economic independence.
Yeah.
Economic independence, economic liberation is one that will move the black man from living the life that he has been living for the last 60 years.
Yeah.
It is now 60 years, that is 2 decades since most African countries, let's say the independence movement in Africa sprang. Now we need to move it to the next level. The next decade should be about economic emancipation of the black man.
Wow.
And that is what, as we believe in as Safina, our quest and our journey is not just about getting to power in Kenya. This is just a springboard for us to pursue greatness for the black man across the continent. The black man can grow when the black man is able to operate as one common people. Open up those borders. Let's have common currency. Let's have a common position in terms of trading with ourselves. Remove the barriers of trade. Once you achieve intracontinental trade, all our economies will grow. And we will be able to raise the capital to exploit the resources that our forefathers and the continent has given unto us to our benefit, and to also trade with the world. Next week I'll talk to you about hydrogen.
Wow.
That's the next sector. That is a very big thing in the world. The world is moving green. And do you know 60% of the hydrogen, the green energy is found where? This continent.
In Africa.
Are you ready?
Very ready.
Are we ready?
Very ready. As a country, are we really ready?
Are we ready? That's the question. Are we ready?
Wakili, as we wind up, we've talked about land, and this is now a bit political. Yesterday we saw an incident where a CAS actually allegedly shot some fire, how do you call it, that used a gun to shot some fires and even allegedly injured a citizen that was Gunjiri in Nakuru. And it was over an acre of land, an issue about land. And don't you think that like the nation and the citizens were feeling that it was not a good idea, or something that could end up to a leader using firearm for the sake of land in broad daylight in front of citizens?
You know, for me, my sad thing is that it seems our chapter 6 of the Constitution is like tissue paper.
And what does it say?
Chapter 6 is about leadership and integrity. How leaders are supposed to carry out, conduct themselves. How you are supposed to conduct yourself in a manner that brings dignity to the office that you hold. And you are exercising a public trust, and it should be exercised to the benefit of the people. So that I don't know the full facts of what transpired, but just from the video that was going around in social media, and I don't see any justification that a land dispute should lead to a leader shooting at the other, because we have policemen. Land is not movable property.
It is there.
It is there. The person, even if you think he's stealing your land, he's not moving away. He's there. You can even take your time to go and report to the police and come back and have an eviction order. Even go get a court order to evict the person.
And the land will still
be there. You leave it. I mean, you are not going to tell me that he was shooting to stop an act of theft. It's immovable. It's immovable. So there is no excuse. In my view, there is no excuse that anybody can give for acting in the manner that is alleged that the CS nominee acted. And it speaks to the quality of leadership that Kenya Kwanza seems to be attracting, which to me is it's concerning, because by that kind of leadership and the ideas that we have to change this country and this continent, I don't think we'll have to work extra hard in terms of bringing the right quality of leaders who have that the mindset that can change. A mindset that is mired in pettiness, in my view, will not move our continent forward. And I just ask anybody involved in a land dispute, you don't have to take a panga to hack another. That land is there. Land cannot be carried away. Somebody cannot put land in their pocket. And just go to court. Report to the police. Don't create new disputes that are beyond what was the original dispute.
Yeah.
So anybody caught up in a land issue, we should try to restrain ourselves and use the legal processes to address those challenges.
And you've talked about reputation. You know, majority of Kenyans actually are saying that the Kenya Kwanza administration no longer cares about the integrity and the reputation of their leaders, because we've seen so many leaders, even in their utterances, how they conduct themselves, even in parliament, how they behave, how they dress, how they do a lot of things. So many people look at it as if they no longer care about what people say or what people see. They care about them being in their offices and in power.
It seems to be so. It seems to be so because, as I said, chapter 6 seems to have been thrown away.
Yeah.
And the attitude. No, once you assume the position of leadership, you are representing the energies of the people.
Yeah.
And how you conduct yourself should be with decorum, with respect and reverence to the people whom you are serving. But what we see a lot from that side of the political divide is more of a very boastful and condescending attitude to other Kenyans.
Yeah.
I mean, once you're a leader of both sides, whether they voted for you, they didn't vote for you.
Yeah.
And statesmanship, or what I'm calling national leadership, should be a leadership, even if you are a majority leader. You're a majority leader of both sides. If you're a cabinet secretary, you're a cabinet secretary of all Kenyans.
Yeah.
So you cannot adopt a very partisan and divisive attitude in terms of who you are leading.
Yeah.
So that what you are discussing, what you are representing on the table of leadership, should be about the interests of Kenyans. And the interests of Kenyans goes beyond the interests of a political party or a coalition of party.
Yeah.
It should be about Kenya first. Whatever I'm doing, is it growing our country? Or is it hindering our country?
Yeah.
And Kenya will never grow if only a segment of the population grows. You should be coming up with programs that will benefit all Kenyans, not a section of Kenyans. Because remember, when this economy tanks, it tanks for everyone.
Everywhere.
There will be no economy for Kenya Kwanza and economy for Azimio or economy for Safina.
Yeah.
It's for everyone.
Yes.
So whatever you're doing, make sure that you are coming up with programs and plans that will benefit everyone.
Yeah.
But more importantly, there is some sense of humility in leadership that our leaders need to maybe taken to a crash course for now to exercise humility in leadership. That seems to be lacking, in my view, at the moment.
Wow. As we wind up, Wakili, what is your parting shot so far with regards to everything that happened and where we are right now?
Well, my parting shot is that it's upon us to introspect as a people. As Kenyans, as Africans, we must introspect and start thinking of how we can have a new conversation, a conversation about the well-being of the Kenyan today, the African today, and what will be our legacy to our children. What are we going to do to those who will come next in this continent? We can remember Africa, the richest man that ever lived in the entire world, in the history of the universe. The richest that ever lived was a black man called Mansa Musa from Mali.
The richest man
that has ever lived on earth, in the history of the earth since creation to date, was a black man called Mansa Musa. He was a king in Mali.
In Mali?
Yes, where Timbuktu was. Greatness is in us. Our development was just interrupted by colonialism. So Africans, we must start thinking through how our forefathers were able to achieve this greatness and produce Mansa Musa. And this is just one of them. There are many others. If you look at the ancient, you go to the pyramids of Egypt and Sudan, those were what you can call architectural wonders.
And they are still there.
And they are still there to date. Greatness is in the African. We need to live a life of greatness. We need to think as we were. This mediocrity we've been subjected to, this is not our lot. So I urge our people, always remember, greatness lies in you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. So that's a very powerful ending of today's show on the Reality Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Wakili has said much. I really don't want to say anything. Just to thank you so much. And of course, Wakili, Asante sana. Thank you so much. Until next week we are talking about hydrogen. Which is
green energy.
60% of the
potential
is in Africa. Wow. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Simi Kenya, of course. Share with your friends, share with everyone, because this is the reality Kenyan, where our lives and our hope lies each and every day. Thank you so much. Until next time, may God bless you. Asante sana.
Asante sana.
Thank you so much.